How you guys doing? So today we're going to be talking about voting. Vote. You're out there voting. So when we look at voting, a lot of people don't see what they don't know what voting means. And what I want you to know is that voting has a meaning. You just don't go out there and vote for people. Remember, whenever they say a bill passed, they're getting paid. That's federal money paying itself back. But they need you to be able to process that vote. So you got a representative that represents you, but you don't know what they're representing because you're busy with basketball and football, okay? And shopping and food. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. These people are getting rich off of you. This is why they got 10 homes, 20 cars, millionaires and stars. You know, you guys need to wake up. I'm tired of doing everything. I'm tired. So you guys got to pay attention because a lot of stuff is going on out there. Okay. Now, first things first. Let's define what vote means. Okay. Vote comes from the Latin noun votum, 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 meaning a vow, solemn and pledge, a pledge. I pledge allegiance, a wish or a promise made to a deity. To a deity. That's half man, half God. You see what I mean? The half human is his downfall. His godly part is his talent. His it's something that you're able to do without you. You know, you can run fast. You're a good artist. You're good at law. You're good at studying. You can memorize stuff. You know, you could keep a job. You know, this is your talent. You're a good singer. You know how to flip backwards real good. You're a good surfer. You're a good YouTuber. You know, that's your talent. That's your godly. And then your downfall, you know, you're you can't get up early in the morning. Um, you drink too much. You start fights. You're always in trouble. That's your human side, you know. So a deity, that's how I look at it. As a Nazarite. That's a Nazarite. That's my belief. Deity, that's what it means in reality. Okay? For reality. Now, what is VOTUM? VOTM is a Latin noun. It's a noun. What's your pronouns? It's a noun, meaning Solomon I promise. You see, it was used in ancient Roman religion to describe a contractual bargain where a person or the state pledge an offering to a deity in exchange for divine favor. Are you getting a favor? Are you getting a favor? You're over here working your butt off, building all these buildings, and you can't even go into one, yet afford to live in one. You know, I'm saying you're over here building all these skyscrapers, all these buildings, and you're not even allowed in none of them, and you think you're doing something. Illegal immigrants. Saw them all today. So to vote in Hebrew shares a root with the word for finger because you raise your hand or point when voting. Another less common verb is labkor, which means to choose. This literally translates to voice. Vote and process elections. You see? So when you know what voting means, when you know where it comes from, the history of it, the meaning, your vote, your vote has a price. Your vote can be monetized. And that's what you're supposed to do. The standard Igbo word, Igbo, that's where Hebrew comes from. It was Igbo, then Hebrew, then Hebrew, then Hebrew. You see? But we're going back to the Y chromosome. We're going back to AOO. AOO. Okay? The first. The creator of the woman. L1. Igbo. Nakwa. NKWA. When used as to make a promise, to give one's word, it is combined with the verb gwa, to agree, accept, as gwa nakwa. Gwa gwa. Gwa nakwa. You know the hell will hit you with that tongue. If you're looking to translate a specific phrase, tell me the context. You know what I mean? Gwa nakwa. So the Roman law vōtum refers to the solemn vow, promise, or oath made to a deity. What deity are we talking about here? Now you know that the Romans have many deities. Okay. What deity are we talking about? Zeus? You know? So the vow, volvere, volver, volver, you would promise a deity a specific offering, such as a sacrifice, games, or a temple, in exchange for request favors, victory in war, recovery from illness, or a safe return home. What? This is what y'all doing? Is this what you're practicing? The contract, if God delivered their part of the deal, the person making the vow fell under a legal obligation. Votu ros or voti damanotos, to fulfill the promise offered. To fulfill the promised offering. Fulfillment. Once the obligation was met. Yeah, I know y'all, you see, this is what we're missing right here. This is why we got to know what voting means. There's 3 phases to it. The vow, the contract, the fulfillment. It's 3 phases. You're not even getting the second one, but you're vowing. You don't know what you're vowing to. God means government, governed domain, God, governed domain. The contract with the government. Did they deliver? No. fulfillment. No. Once the obligation was met, it was never met. The vow was released with the standard formula. This was often read at altars and no votive vow, often VSLM. Votima solvit labenis merito. He or she has paid. Oh, that's a cologne. Private vows. Individuals made these for health, safe travel, crops, or childhood birth. While these were fundamentally religious acts, they operated on the same conditional, legally styled logic that governed Roman contracts. You see? So, you know, when you're voting out here, we got to understand that your vote has meaning. You can't just be going here voting for anybody or saying, "Oh, I like their hair. Oh, I like the way they talk or they dress. Oh, they sound. Oh, they look like my son." No, you need to know who you're voting for. You need to ask for something in return for your vote. You need to get not as a community. You could ask. I'm the kind of person where I'm asking for myself. I'm like, what are you going to do for me? Not my community. No, for me. Okay, what are you going to do for me? Okay, I need this taken care of. I need my tax. I don't want to pay no taxes for 60 years. I want um, I want to get the mansion on Delhaney and Wilshire. Um, I need this bill passed. I need 22 billion, no interest, or let me just get that and with an open account, I pay you back what I can, and then you erase the rest. So I'm asking for something. Then I ask for my community. I need to open up a power plant over here. I want to start working with these minerals over here. You know, uh, we need help with the streets, the trash company. Um, we don't like these people in the neighborhood. Could you get them out? You know, we're asking for stuff. You know, that's what we're doing. So that way they know that we have meaning and we have understanding and where we exist because we're asking for something personally. Personally, like writing a letter, like they didn't answer right back again. You know what I mean? Sit down. I want to set up an appointment with you. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I need to open up two more burger joints. I need you to let me operate with only the one license, and then I could pay you back later. That's what you do. You know, let me get the contract. It's all on me, and you let me into the pool. You know, you ask for stuff like that. That's what you ask for personally. You know, so that's how you got to move. That's how you got to move. You let me build the museum, I'll vote for you. I got look at my subscribers. Look, I got 1 million votes all coming to you right now. Tell them to back off me, lower the taxes, and the fees. And then get that some subsidies. So voting was a core feature of the Roman Republic and a regular activity for political active citizens. Voting is what you have in a republic. But in a republic, only people with property or the rich can vote. But there's wealth everywhere. Build and they'll come. You know what I mean? So the republic is where it's at. Republic, return to the public. RE means return. Public. So you work, you pay taxes, the money comes back to the public. Everything's for the public. Now you want to go private, you got to bring your own money. Okay? You cannot take the public's money to build private. You could only, now to bring private money, you got to do it the legal way. But people do it the illegal way by money laundering. That's the problem. Okay? So the republic. Now, what do they do to the republic? They put it in capitalism. And capitalism destroys the republic because you're bringing in democracy and then it turns to communism. And then after communism is genocide and then a Holocaust. And then it goes back again to republic. It's a cycle. So you got to be careful. So each citizen was a member of a voting unit based on wealth. Unit members voted to decide which candidates they collectively supported, like U.S. president elections, where it's not the popular vote, but the number of electoral college votes that determine the winner. So basically, a representative, you know. So, like always, the corporations are voting because they're a person. Then you got the rich voting. Then you got their slaves voting because the workers. So we see that. So when you vote, make sure that you know what you're voting for. No, make sure that you know that your vote has meaning and you're supposed to get something back in return. All these voting where you're just voting and you don't know what's going on. You're voting for Section 8 or you're voting for adoption or pro-life or illegal immigration to be removed or to stay. Look at other things too. What are you getting back? Personally. It means something. So, in California, you can vote by mail. Ballots are mailed 29 days before an election. You see. So if you're unable to sign your name on the return envelope, make an X or a distinguished mark by the red X. That's what they're saying. So I don't agree with mail-in ballots because we've seen so much fraud in it. It's overwhelming. I can't believe they're still practicing it. But I hope that Trump team can go out there and prevent this from happening. And they have, but we haven't been hearing about it. So for the upcoming election, June 2nd, is California congressional, state, and gubernatorial primary election. Tuesday, August 4, 2026, California Congressional District 1 special general election. And it goes August 18, November 3rd. So to vote, you have to be a U.S. citizen, a resident of California, and at least 18 years old. You are not eligible to vote in California if you are in prison for a felony conviction. A judge has specifically ruled that you are not able to vote. Well, that's it. So it doesn't say you have to be 18 and all that. Huh? You're not what? Okay, I'll hold up. My bad. If you have completed a felony prison sentence, even if you're still on parole or probation, then you are immediately eligible to register to vote. You may pre-register to vote in California at the age of 16. If you are a resident in California but are attending college in another state, you're resident in another state but attend college in California. You need identity, voter's material, and state lookup. So, those are the little bit rules right there. I'm just reading it out to you so you know what's going on. And they're going to try to do online voters registration. That's a scam. That's a scam right there. They're trying to get more votes. Yeah, guys. As we see, we're having problems right now where a certain person was put into position and he was told, hey, we don't want no war. All of a sudden, we're at war. So, hey, did we ask for something back in return? Yeah. Put America first. But we see that, once again, America has been put last. And it's an ongoing cycle. Not for me, because I already know. So I'm just saying, we really gotta get something back in return. Vote is not free. Okay, guys, thanks for coming by. It was nice talking to you. When you're voting, make sure you know what you're voting for, and make sure you're getting something back. Have a good day.